Hi, I'm Cindy and I'm with Hatbandoo Cooling Headwear and Accessories. For over 25 years we've been making cooling products for you. Today I'm going to introduce you to our Safari Hatbandoo. Here we've taken a linen cotton blend fabric and made it into a little bit more of a rugged style hat. Oversized brim, we've added a draw cord so it stays on your head when you're out there in those windy outdoor environments. Our cooling chamber is incorporated right into the sweatband area of the hat. We've added some grommets to kind of accelerate the breathability. Very popular hat with people that hike, people that are out doing travel, out visiting our national parks, camping, fishing. Just because of the popularity of it, we've actually added it into an XXL size. A lot of customers have told us that they wanted this in an oversized hat, a little bigger craniums. So it's a nice hat for that option. Folds right into your hand too. And now here's how we hydrate the Safari Hatbandoo. We want to put the entire hat in water. Just submerge it. We want to use clean tap water. We want to do it in like a sink or container or bowl, whatever you might have available, but definitely clean tap water. We want to make sure that the crystals are evenly distributed while it's in the water, so that they fill up evenly. As you will see in the sample here, that the item we had on the display earlier, this is how we want the end result to be. So while the hat's in water, we want to make sure that those crystals are evenly distributed, which could very well take a little bit of massaging, movement. We want you to move the crystals around. Sometimes in our production or in shipping or settling, the crystals all may end up in one or two spots within the hat. We want to make sure that you move them and massage them so that they're evenly distributed. They swell up evenly, so this is the end result. Now, what we want to do, this takes about 5 minutes, depending on the mineral content of the water you're in. It could take a little more than 5 minutes or a little less than 5 minutes. Water in the country varies from state to state, city to city. So just keep an eye on it, because this is going to expand pretty quickly and transform. So when it does complete and it does feel fold to a flexible shape, and this isn't the case right now because we haven't been in water for that long, but I'm going to accelerate forward and just show you how you would blot it dry, and then kind of give you an idea of the next steps here. So pretty much what we want to do is take it out of the water, and we want to blot off the excess water, which you want to kind of tap it to get that off, and take the excess water and get most of it off the hat. This is a very lightweight fabric, so it's going to dry being outside or just air dry very quickly. You're going to experience that pretty fast, even though it may still feel wet when you first pull it out of the water, maybe even blot it dry. It may still feel damp, but the rest of it's going to be taken care of by the environment and dry it off. Now, the next thing I want to show you is, this is the end result. This is this hat was the one I showed you a moment ago, and this was put in water, hydrated about 30 hours ago. So obviously this is completely dry, which doesn't take that long. Only takes a few minutes based on your environment. But the hat is dry, but the cooling chamber is still hydrated, and you can see it's still very active. I want to show you an idea of the difference in temperature that's gone on here. My skin, by the way, this is a surface thermometer and surface temperature thermometer, and my skin right now is showing 84 degrees. And just to give you an example here, I want to show you the temperature of the band, and the band is showing 70 degrees. So right there is proof that this hat is definitely cooler than my skin, and I'd be a little chilly putting this on right now, or a little definitely cooler than what I feel by wearing this hat. To wash the products, we suggest you use a liquid hand soap, brand of choice, whatever you prefer. The reason being is it's not highly concentrated, and this is going to be a hand washing process, so perhaps just squirt a little bit onto a washcloth, use a little bit of moisture, water, and while the product is obviously sometimes hydrated, you might have soils on it. So we want to use the liquid hand soap with the washcloth as a scrubber to get the stains out. And then what we want to do is we want to make sure that we really rinse it thoroughly and get all the soap out. You could do this when the product is dry. This is obviously preferred, but in this case the product is a little hydrated. That will get some soils out. Just make sure you get all the water out. When you're, here's another example when we're using it for the sport Hatbandoo, which would be applicable to any of our hats. We want to use this as well to kind of use these washcloths as a scrubber. Is a great way to get stains out. And again, just rinse it really well, because you obviously want to get all that soap out of there so it's not against your skin. And again, it's best to do this when the product is evaporated, but you can also, get it. Just make sure you rinse it really well if it's not evaporated, and get your stains out. The last thing I want to share with you is how to store your Hatbandoo product. Once the product is hydrated, it's very important that you allow it to evaporate. We never want to store our headwear, our neck bandoos, any of the products, Hatbandoos and Bandoo rags, in an enclosed area. We want to let them continue to breathe until they reduce back down to a crystal shape, completely dried out. There's no gel left. This is going to prevent the product from mildewing. If it's left in an enclosed area, there's nowhere for it to go. It's going to tend to mildew, and we don't want that to happen. So we want it to be in an open air environment. And the other thing is, we don't want to leave it in a bowl of water, because that will also overhydrate the product. Once it's hydrated, there's no need to keep hydrating it until it starts to reduce back down to a crystal again. You can do that intermittently, but never beyond a hydrated state. And we want to make sure you monitor it at all times. You don't want to just leave it in there, or else you're going to have an overhydration condition, which again will cause the crystals to ooze through the product, and you have to wipe them off and then wait for it to evaporate back down. Not the intended use of the product. We want to make sure we hydrate it to a flexible shape and let it dry out. Do not keep it in an enclosed area. If you're ever traveling with it, it's suggested that you don't keep it in a packed suitcase for a long period of time. If it's still moist, maybe do it as a carry-on and let some air get to it. So this is kind of going to keep it in good shape. You take care of the product. I really recommend that you read our product instructions front to back, follow them. You'll read on our testimonials that people have had our products for many, many years, and that is definitely a telltale of them following our product instructions.